Hello everybody and welcome back to Saxlingham. So we are just on our way to go to field 41 because we're going to have to start baling, and I have a feeling that there's going to be quite a lot of bales to be done in this field. Whilst we're over here, our worker is up in field, I forget which one, it's 50. He's up there rolling because he finished off rolling our big field just by the yard. So that will get done, and then after we've rolled this, we will have to come here with lime. Ooh, I better fold that, well, I better unfold it, I should say, before we turn it on. So we need to obviously bale this, then we need to rip the tram lines out, and then lime, mulching, and then, well, I don't think we'll get a chance to drill to drill a roll in this episode, but this is going to very much be the focus of today, getting this turnaround as quickly as possible. I'm going to take a guess at 41 bales that we are going to produce from this field. So I'll just get this last little bit here, and then we'll have to empty the baler to get the final count. So we'll just turn it off, lift it up and all that jazz. And then that's one more out, and we've got one that's 70%. I don't think we will get a full bale out of that, so if we just unload bale early and drop that one. Now let's have a look. I think if we go into statistics, is it that or is it the F1? Okay, so that's saying 90. We haven't just made 90 bales there, that is for sure. So statistics, bales produced 39. What did I say? Did I say 41? I can't remember now. I'll have to look back and remind myself. I think I'm rather quite close there. But then obviously you've got to remember the 39th one, that's only 70% of a bale. So without the unload bales early mod, there would only be 38. Right, we're going to get this back to the yard. We'll get the auto stacker. And I need to remind myself where I was stacking bales, because I presume I would have done it up where our silage bales are, but also whilst we're passing, I can't remember. Let's just hop over here. Let's see how much feed you lot have. 20,300. An offspring in 3 months. Well, this past is going to get rather full rather quickly then. Let's hop back over that, and yeah, we'll get to the yard, drop this off and get the auto stacker. Whilst we are here as well, we do have, oh mama windrow, we do have the combine to empty out, because I would rather not leave the hopper just open to the elements as it is. So let's put the bale stacker on. Let's just go around the corner because the John Deere is around here now, so we can jump into that, get the last bit of wheat out of it, get that into our silo, and then we'll also have a final tally of everything we've got. So let's jump into here. Let's just get the engine going. We'll have to jump into the combine and get the engine going on there. So I'll unload, I would presume. So like so, jump into this one now. We really do need... We need a bale storage shed and another shed to store equipment in. So we need to really have a look and see. Well, have a look online, speak to a lot of people, figure out what design sheds people are offering, and most importantly, prices. I know there is a lot that you can get with solar panels on, but the solar panels, I think it takes too much time to make any money. Like, by the time you've invested in them, it's almost not worth doing. But we'll just have to wait and see. But here's another 8,384 litres of wheat to go into the silo. So we'll just drive around here and put this in, and then we'll be able to look and see what our final tally for harvest was. So whilst that's going in, we can now go the time-saving stock check. So we got 130,285 litres, which at max value gives us just shy of £160,000, which hopefully with the environmental score that will bump it up to maybe 170. Straw, 80,000, including the environmental score. Silage selling for a very, very good price. Is whether we need to sell any or not. That's the question, because I would like to get a grass field should really be our next purchase, which I would like to think 32 would be on the cards. But arable field wise, I want field 40 as well. So if you look there, there's 58,000 there, and then there is our workers just finished rolling field 50. And then there's almost 260,000 just here. And you also get a big bit of woodland, which reminds me that we have, if we find our bit of farmland, we own all this woodland in here. So let's just turn this off. So it could be an idea, is if we're running out of shed space here, we could turn to in here to building something. I know there's a few rocks and whatnot, but we can convert a load of these trees into some timber products, maybe flatten all this out with a bit of landscaping. We'll just have to see. All right, let's go get these bales loaded. We'll bring them back, and then we'll have to look at getting the ground subsoiled so that we can put in our new tram lines for our 36 metre sprayer. And that is all the bales gathered up. So this is week 3. I think it's Tuesday. I was just looking at my phone then, because I am roughly about 8 videos in front, 8-9 videos in front. So working on that, I think this is Tuesday into week 3 of having a video every day. So please do leave a comment below if you are enjoying having the videos all the time, pretty much. I know for me to do it, it's a great, well, I've mentioned before in other videos, you know, I generally start recording about 5 o'clock in the morning. It's why if I sound a bit droopy, and those who know me would say droopier than normal, you know, so that's when I record. It seems to be the only time that I can record with kids and work and family and all that sort of thing. You know, so it is a hard work-ish. Luckily at this moment in, well, I said luckily, it says luckily, unluckily, I don't really sleep the greatest at the moment, so it makes this possible for me to do it. So please do leave a comment down below, let me know whether you were enjoying having videos every day. So we're just going to park this without driving into the shed, and I'm turning the wrong way, everything's going wrong now. We're going to just park this up into the shed, and then we want to go and get the subsoiler, which won't be too far away from us. And if we get a start on subsoiling, it should give our worker enough time. They finished a fair while up in field 50, so it should give them enough time to get down here with the rolls, either take the rolls off or put the rolls onto the John Deere. Not the rolls, take the rolls off and put the mulcher onto the John Deere, or if they're taking the rolls off, I've really got tongue-tied there. They're in the class with the rollers on, so they can either come down to the yard here, take the rolls off and put the mulcher onto the class, or they can bring the class and the rolls down here, jump into the John Deere, take the trailer off, and then put the mulcher onto the John Deere, which that would make a lot more sense to do it that way, because once I've done with this, I can then go and put the drill onto here, because this is obviously our most powerful tractor, so it makes sense to put the drill on, which takes the most amount of horsepower. Right, so we'll just jump into here. So it looks like there's a give over. That must have been tram lines for one. There must have been such a small part there of the field that needed to be sprayed to have such a small tram line put in there. So let's just do that bit, and then we can go drop into this bit here, make sure we cover it all and get rid of absolutely everything. And right, so we will continue with this. I'm glad we're not doing, you know, a massive field. Well, this is a very big field, but I'm glad it's just tram lines we're taking out, because if we were doing this, it would be a very, very slow job. Like, yeah, you wouldn't want to do this whole field like this. So we now should never have to rip out these tram lines. What's gone on there? Has that not just been... I don't understand that, whether we haven't drilled that or what, I don't know. But anyways, we should now never have to rip out these tram lines again, because we won't be changing from a 36 metre spreader and sprayer. And I just want to have a quick look up here to see how this field is doing, because obviously I was hoping, which I was correct, that this is now germinated, but we just have to have a look to see. So pH value is saying nitrogen... What? How is the nitrogen perfect when we haven't put any nitrogen into the ground? And now it's saying nitrogen bad, pH good. Let's just have a look on our map, because that seems a bit strange to me. So, pH, nitrogen. So we may have been on one of the old... If we just move up here slightly to here... Yeah, so this is one of the old tram lines, which is why it's nitrogen perfect, because when we were harvesting, there was never a crop here to take off. And expected yield, we're at 96% out of 100, 95, 72. So right, I am, just to have a bit of a change, so we're not in that same field, we're going to come up to here with the sprayer, and we can get this field sprayed with nitrogen. There is also weeds. There's some small weeds in here, it says. So whatever's in the sprayer, that's what we're going to be spraying, because there's no point emptying it all out to then wash it all out to put something else in when this field needs, needs both fertiliser and herbicide. We're going to have a tidy up of this yard at some point, because everything just seems to be abandoned, especially because I'm about to abandon this subsoiler as well. And then we need to find where the sprayer is. I would imagine it will be in our spray, sort of our chemical store as it were, on the other side over there. And I did just have a quick look at the map to see whether we had drilled that corner, but it's saying we missed it. Or it's very speckledy for some reason, which I don't know why, but not to worry. If worst comes to worst, next year we can just go with the subsoiler and just see if that sorts the problem out. So let's put this on. So we've got herbicide, so that's what we're going to go do. We're going to go spray off the small weeds up in that top field, and then we might as well keep herbicide in, because all our other fields, when they germinate, we can then go spray all them in the next episode, which, if we're honest, with Farming Simulator, we can go spray them all now, I would presume, and then get them all done and out of the way. But let's try and keep some realism. And there we go. So this field should now be completely covered, and we can double check this by going on to the map and weeds. So we have missed just a little bit there and there, but that's quite alright. And I'll show you here, if you look at crops, it says we missed that for some reason, which I don't know. And then that's a solid line instead of having a little bit of crop in the middle, which is very interesting. Right, we will go park this up. We'll put the drill on. We're not going to go drill this episode, because this will be us done now. But we'll put the drill onto here, and then we want to just get the spreader put on to the class, because once the John Deere's finished, we want to get in there with lime and then drill straight over the top of the line. And then it gets it gets rid of that white lime texture, which I'm a big fan of in 25. I know in 22 it was too white for my liking, and I think, was it Bullet Bill who did a load of not mods, but a load of folders, so you could change everything up, so you could change your actual like corn crops, wheat, barley textures, all that sort of thing. In 22 I put all those into the game, and then it did make, there was one for lime where I think you had two options, and I went for the more greyer, darker one, which it was a lot more in keeping and not as much of an eyesore, especially the likes of stones as well. Stones in 22, I couldn't stand to look at them, so I never had them on when I was just playing. Whilst on here, I don't mind having them on because they're not too much sort of like in your face all the time. But right, again, we're going to leave another bit of machinery out, so we'll leave that just there. We'll then put the drill onto here, like so, and then let's turn this off where it is. So the class is over here, and again we're going to just take the rollers off there, and then we can nip through and get the spreader on. So turn that on, and yeah, we're on the rolls, so we'll drop them, and then like I say, we'll spread it, which I have a feeling all our other fields haven't taken much lime, but we have been spreading every year. Field 41, I think it is, it's the first time that we've had this field, so it may take a fair bit. We can hold 4,000 litres in here, but as many of you who will know, in farm sim terms, that is not a lot at all. So we'll empty that out there. Then we might as well just go over like so. Open that up, and we will throw 2 bags of lime in. Oh, when did I jump in here? I must have jumped in here before the episode started because that engine's still running. So let's go and gather. Well, this is a part bag, so I'll get that one and this one, and then we'll get rid of the big bag that's there as well. And that should fill it all up, and then at least we're then all ready for the next episode. Well, there wasn't much in that bag at all. Slowly but surely. This does also give our worker plenty of time to get the mulching done, which I have noticed that he's lifting up the mulcher a lot sooner than he needs to, or he's dropping it down later than what he should be doing. So we may just have to have a word with him about that to make sure he stops doing it, because I'd rather get the is it 2.5%, that 2.5% bonus throughout the whole field. Right, let's put this one on. There's not a lot left in there either. We'll get another one of these bags. I'm going to guess this one on the left looks like it's been maybe used, but we'll soon find out. Let's get this thrown in. You should always keep your pallet tines level when lifting bags, because I've done it before where as soon as you tilt, when you're lifting bags like these, as soon as you tilt them back, your pallet tines, they act like a knife, with obviously the weight that's in the bag pulling down. When they slide, it can soon cut them, then they'll fall off your forks. Then 9 times out of 10 they hit the ground and explode, then you've got a lot of tidying up to do. We need to put another bag in there. Right, we're going to have to buy some more lime. So let's get this one. We'll have to take our Bailey trailer, which I'll have to see if there's any silage on it. We may go sell the silage, and then we can gather some more lime and bring that back. Right, is that now full? Right, well, we will leave everything at that. All our equipment is ready, our worker is still going, and like I say, in the next episode, because we're going to stay in September, we'll stay in September until we get this wheat into the ground, then we can look at moving on. And where is, so our Bailey trailer is hidden back here. Right, so we'll put this onto there, because then we can go sell some silage, which actually I think we may be best if I put the forks onto the back. We can strap them on. I can then put our bale grab, you know, the 4 bale grab that's up at the top. Actually, no, it's down here, to be fair. But we can put that onto the front, so we can load up some more silage bales. So I don't think we need them all. By the time we have another cut, we'll have plenty. So we can load up some more of them, we can get them sold, we can then pick up some more lime, so we've replenished that. We may also get some more solid fertiliser, but I think the biggest thing will be our bank balance at the minute, because we only have, well, just shy of 38,000. But right, I think there is not much more to do than to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and following along with these series, please do feel free to like and subscribe, and better yet, leave a comment, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye for now.